My phone blows up all day, every day from these people calling me because
Is it an Israeli phone? You know, we were trying to figure out what we were going to talk about today. And Kevin and I decided we're just fucking tired of
Why?
the
Because you're
same
old?
old shit all the time. I think we are now where most of America has been for 2 years.
Which is?
I don't
You're
care
sick and
anymore.
tired of feeling sick and tired?
Yes. There's never any time.
Are you from the Saved by the Bell generation, Kevin?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you got Juan's reference there.
I'm just sick and tired, man. I'm sick and tired of the same old shit every fucking day. Trump says something stupid. Kamala's a Marxist. Biden's too old. Trump getting shot. Election interference from other countries.
It's funny. It's funny that Trump getting shot at is so common now that it's like I'm so sick and tired of Trump getting shot.
Oh shit.
Me and Juan, we were trying to think of like the topic for today, and I kind of realized like it's in the process of trying to think of a topic. I kind of got tired of like, you know what I mean? Like it dawned on me like, what is there to talk about that doesn't feel like I don't know if it's the media, right? Like, or if it's just like it has to be something to do with the media, but either traditional media or social media. I just feel like I'm just like everything is just all the time, right? Like it's not when we've exhausted the number of bullshit things to be outraged over, or like even outrage, being mad at like, what are we mad at this week, everybody? What's pissing us off as a civilization or society? Who's racist now? Like even even it's like the Diddy stuff. Like I'm over it. It feels like everything is a meme and it's been played out. Like everything. Like here we go. Like Hezbollah and Israel. Okay, shit. I'm tired of hearing about this. Can we either fucking one of you kill the other and be done with it, or just stop? Like I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care who's
I
bombing.
always said that about like North Korea. North Korea was always threatening to do shit. And people would always come on the news like North Korea is now saying that they are gonna set Seoul on fire. I'm like, just fucking do it. Just stop.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the fucking stories of Kim Jong Un, little rocket man, testing fucking rockets.
Yeah.
Just either fucking do it or don't.
Yeah,
Exactly. Everybody in Palestine, every single at this point, just go ham. Just don't give a shit. Just say, as a people, we've just decided to bring this shit to an end, right? We're just gonna go out on like clearly, if you're claiming it's genocide and the Israelis are doing genocide and they're trying to genocide you, then finish it. Take it into your own hands. Just give every man, woman, and child a rifle. Charge into fucking Jerusalem or whatever, and just go out like like fucking titans, right? Like we're just gonna and let the Israelis wipe you out. But you know what? It'll be history that remembers. Like the Indians making their last ride valiantly towards. You know what I mean? Like the Last Samurai. I just watched that recently.
Like the Alamo.
like the 300.
Yeah, well, yeah, like 300 is more of a defense thing, but I'm thinking like the Last Samurai, right? Like they were considered, rebellious against the Empire and the future, and
Isn't that Star Wars?
No, well, yeah,
It's the same story told over and over again.
Over and over.
Isn't that Harry Potter?
Yeah. That was different. That was Evil Rising, but the difference is they all lose at the end, right? Or Glory. Glory is another example. Like, charge, we're going over that hill, and at the end of the movie, they're throwing all our heroes into a fucking pit.
Not to be confused with a glory hole.
Yeah,
that one always has one winner.
Yeah, always. But you know what I mean? Like at the end, they all just charge or whatever. When the smoke clears, and the Israelis are like, "We have defeated all of the enemies." Look at what they did. They were crazy people. We had to defend ourselves. Are people going to get up and like slowly turn their back on them? Like you like all of a sudden you don't feel like the heroes of your own story when you just wiped out the other people, but they were pushed to a point where they felt like they had to do something. At least that, or give up. Say fuck it. We whatever this the Jews they can just treat us like second class citizens or whatever. We'll just accept it. Like you have to do one or the other, right? You have to let it go. Trump, can we just have the election
Well,
tomorrow?
I mean, it is true that like it's just the Middle East is fucking tiring, man. That's why people don't give a fuck about it anymore. Like most Americans don't give a shit what's happening in the Middle East because it's like so fucking long that they're always fight. It's not like Europe where they were fighting forever and then all of a sudden, yeah, you know what, guys? Yeah, it's we gotta stop this shit. Okay, so now we got the UN and NATO and all that shit, and even Asia, China hasn't attacked anybody, and the last thing we saw was the North Korean South Korean war,
Yeah,
and even they're like, okay, we're saber rattle, but we're fucking kind of done attacking each other. But the Middle East is always fucking with each other.
Yeah. I don't get that at all. Like it's just it's fucking annoying. Didn't I kind of say this? I don't remember if it was on a chat anymore or if it was on an old episode where I was talking about just I basically said the same thing, a while back is just fucking nuke each other and be done with it. Like just somebody wipe the other off the fucking planet and just fucking be done. Like just do it.
I almost feel I feel bad about it. Well, I don't, but I almost feel bad about it. I want to feel bad about it, unless I should feel bad about it, and people complain that I didn't feel bad about it. Then I'm going to say, well, actually, I felt bad about it. Just didn't know at the time. But like a couple of days ago or last week, when people had the rumor that Israel had nuked Lebanon, did you see like the videos of that, like the explosion or whatever?
Mhm.
They really what they hit was like probably some weapons stockpile or something like that.
I
But
saw something like that from Ukraine to Russia.
yeah, it's the same thing. People, oh, they used a nuke. Russia nuked the Ukraine or whatever, or something like that. I
No, there
think,
was a Ukrainian or a video where a Ukrainian drone, I
Yeah, hit
think that
a
was a
weapon.
kamikaze drone or some shit, right? Like where it blew up some like weapons stockpile building or some shit, and it like
Like
it blew up.
basically, what Beto's saying is you're wrong, Kevin, and your
no,
point is wrong. And now you've been discredited. Nobody wants to hear what you're saying.
I didn't say it was me that said that. I'm saying that, yeah, I'm saying we've seen those types of videos where people said that, oh, it was a nuke or whatever, and you looked and you're like, oh shit, it looks, and then you realize later on, so it's like, no, what happened is they hit a weapon stockpile and something or other, right? But when I saw that originally, I kind of hoped it had been a nuke, right? Like, finally, we're getting to the end, right? It's kind of like in sports or football, where the score is so lopsided, or it's like this game is never going to end, and you get to, or you get to the point where they're just going back, or you're like, just take the victory formation and just end it. Stop struggling,
Well, it'd
right?
be more like it'd be more like baseball when it goes into like
Yeah,
you know the
12 and
28th
13 inning.
inning. You're
Yeah,
like, God damn, dude, just fucking end it.
Just take one dip and end it.
yeah. At some point, you stop rooting. You
Why?
stop rooting
But
for your
how
team.
do you end it? So this is my dilemma, right? Is we wanted to just fucking end, but they're not gonna do it like men. Like if they could do it like men and just meet out in a fucking field, and it would be like Hezbollah and Hamas versus the Israeli army and military, and just duke it out. Leave civilians alone and just fucking duke it out. But
Well,
they're not gonna do that.
that's
So
the
so
shit that's always bothered me about like some of these Middle Eastern quote unquote terrorist organizations is that they're always fucking hiding
yeah.
behind women and children or regular civilians. Like, just
Yeah.
fucking come out. Stop being a
They're a bunch of
bitch.
little bitches. But
So it's hard for me to be like anti-Israel or genocide this and whatever when these fucking coward pieces of shit are always doing that stuff,
well, but that's the thing though. So that's the other question. That's the other question I had is, while I feel sorry for the civilians, at what point do you say civilians stop fucking hiding these guys? Or are they being threatened so much that they can't stop hiding them?
Yeah, that's part of where I was going, and then the other part is we think of it as like you said, you call them terrorists, but we have to remember if you didn't have the guerrilla hit and run tactics, we wouldn't be talking here in America because that's how we fought a greater force, a more powerful organized military, one of the most powerful militaries in the world actually at the time, and we did it with bullshit with Mel Gibson running in and stabbing redcoats from the forest with his fucking American flag. Remember, if you remember, But I mean, that's how you had to use hit and run tactics to win in some cases. Mexico wouldn't be. I don't know what you guys would be. Would you still be speaking Portuguesa or whatever it is?
I used to do that in my college years with the Tang, just hit and run.
Yeah, but it's illegal. And don't forget, I wouldn't say that, Beto, because the statute of limitations may not have run out.
Yeah, I didn't say rape and run. I said hit and run.
We don't know.
Hit
And you don't
quit it, hit it and quit it.
Yeah, but see, you're giving your enemies ammunition because any of those ladies can come back now. It's only been 20 years. Clearly, they can come back.
Just wait until we this podcast becomes so popular. Beto's making
millions.
And there's the video evidence.
Yeah,
Beto took advantage of me, and I said no, and Beto, and that's and you're gonna lose because everybody believes everybody now. That's another thing.
I'm gonna lose just on the fact that I'm a man.
Yeah, I'm tired of that.
Okay,
I'm like, I'm almost
what the fuck does hitting the poontang have to do with the civilians in Palestine, Kevin?
No, because the topic is that it's not the civilians in Palestine. I'm because I understand, like, stop hiding and go out. Well, no, because we know nobody's stupid either.
Well, like, no. What I'm saying though is I'm not saying that that's a good strategy. I'm just saying, how the fuck do you end this? Because they're not going to end it by going out there and doing that.
No, well, but here's the thing. We were talking about, like, we just want things to end, right? Well, there's also another side of that. Israel just kill everybody, right? Because you're like, stop hiding behind those civilian women and children. And, well, fuck it. This is never going to end this way. So you just have to wipe everybody out and hope for the best, right?
Or why don't you just wipe out the governments?
I would love that too, but this is where I was going. It's not just these conflicts, right? I'm just saying nothing never ends. Here we are at another election. Can we have the election like tomorrow? Can we have a poll and be like, look, we've all voted as a nation to just do this shit Friday, so we can just be done. Like
don't get me started on election cycles, because the second election ends, the next one's starting already.
That's how I feel. I think that's what it is. It's like I feel like we had no break between 2020 and now. Like we went from Biden won to like the very next day already talking about who's going to be 2024. And that's why by the time we got here, look, Trump, we've been talking about Trump running for 2024 since 2020, and it just feels like there was never another candidate.
You know, like, what else has always aggravated me is the politicians that are already in there and they're fucking campaigning all the time. Like, who's running shit then? You know what I mean? Like, if Biden's out there campaigning 24 hours a day, who the fuck is running?
And that's what pisses me off the most about, like, the Freedom Caucus, right? Because I've said before, like, the Freedom Caucus, if they were serious, I might support them a little more, depending on the stupid shit that they say, right? Because I like some of their things, like, no, we're not going to pass any higher budgets. We're not going to, we're going to drain the swamp, as Trump used to call it. We're not going to do the regular, we're going to have one subject bills. But they only say that to campaign because as soon as they get something they want, they flip.
Yeah.
Or
They all do that shit.
Yeah.
That
or I
fucking
don't know if it's as much flipping as I feel like sometimes they're not even flipping. They are going dormant because it's like if I solve the problem, I won't have a job. It's kind of like us, right? Like in our younger years, like I learned real quick never to. You know how people are like, I give 110%, boss. I give 90%, never higher, because when I give that 90%, I'm pretty much meeting the
but
goal
it's not
roughly.
that though,
But
because
if I go over it, your expectation will be for me to constantly like, oh, you hit 100%, give me 110. If I give you 110, you want 115. 110 comes the new normal. I need at some point to be able to go like, yeah, like I don't want to complete a job and then be out of a job, right? Unless it's like something where you're specifically paid up
I don't
front and there's
think
no more.
I don't think so, man. Because you might make the argument that if you introduced term limits, it would mitigate some of that, right? But I don't think so because presidents do the same shit, and they do have term limits. You know what I mean? So I think I would venture to say that it all goes back to money and lobbyists.
Well, no, I
Like
mean it's still the same
what
thing. Like
like
if think about it, if you move into it, if you're a politician, right, and you go in and you like you run on these like I'm gonna pass a bill that outlaw like I'm gonna put it into legislation that abortion cannot be done beyond the first 2 weeks, right, of pregnancy. Anything after that is illegal, and that's it. And introduce it, and somehow it manages to pass or whatever. And that's what I campaign on, like the protection of life, blah blah blah. Maybe one or two other things. If I accomplish those three things when I'm in office, I shouldn't be in office for another 15 years, right? That should be like I've done what I've done, and now you can elect somebody else who has other ideas to do something else. But that doesn't happen. What happens is people drag this shit out, right? Like, and then they talk about what we're gonna protect our border. Who's passing legislation? All these commercials like Ted Cruz and Colin Allred, these assholes all running for, like the Republicans have been talking about protecting the border and we got to do something about the immigration, whatever, blah, 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 for the past, I don't know, it feels like 10 years now. And not a goddamn thing has been done. That's demonstrably. It feels like it's gotten worse.
yeah, but
And so, what
even
are the
then I would
Republicans
still
doing? They can't pass anything. You
even
can't
then I
introduce
still venture to
anything.
say it's about in the end I think it's about money and lobbyists,
Well,
companies.
it's about power. It's about power. Like I said before, like you can't pass stuff and be done with it because then what do you run on? If you
Exactly.
fix the border, then Republicans aren't going to come out and vote because they're no longer scared about anything.
Exactly.
I don't think that's the thing though, is I don't think there's a way to fix. How do you fix the border?
I don't know. If I knew how to fix the border, I wouldn't be doing a podcast.
I don't think anybody does. I
Well,
don't
no,
think there is
I
a
do.
way. I don't
I
think
know how
there
to fix
is.
it.
I don't think there's a pragmatic way to fix.
No, there
the
is. Like
border.
I've said before, I've actually have set a plan before about how you fix immigration. The first thing
we've
you
all
do
discussed this.
is stop giving any kind of benefits to immigrants.
And build a wall.
No fucking, like, you give them benefits for like 2 months. If you don't find a fucking job and start getting your own shit together, you go back. Don't give them any kind of like free homes, free apartments, free medical, free school, free food, free everything. Because that's the reason they come. Because as soon as, and you know it, because we have people in our family that are like that. They come over and all of a sudden they're like set for life. Well, of course, millions are going to come over hoping for that American dream. That's their American dream, not ours anymore. Ours is to be rich. Theirs is to just have some money and some food, right?
For free.
Stop doing that, and people will stop coming. If there's nothing here for them and they have to fucking work, then the only people coming across will be the ones that want to fucking work for a living. And those we want, right? Those are okay.
Yeah, and that's one. Like it's not one solution. I think that's the problem too. There's not one answer, but you can solve the. You can move towards solving the border with like 2 or 3, 4, 5 things, right? You stop giving benefits to anybody. You build a wall. You know what? Why not do all of these things and then you secure the border, right? You do the wall. You put drones or whatever the fuck you want out there on the border patrol to guard your wall, and you go after companies that hire people illegally. If we find that you're doing you crack down the way you crack down on Mexicans and black people whenever you need to show how tough you are on crime, right? You with these mandatory minimums or whatever. So you go in and you take these companies and you're like, we found 3 people picking fruits or making wicker baskets in your factory that are illegal. We're gonna fine you $500,000 per head, right? And whoever
But
their
that's
immediate
no, that's
supervisor.
going about it the wrong way, though. That's not going about it the right way because those people see that's how it's always been my problem. These raids on companies and finding illegals.
Not finding the illegals. I'm talking about
No,
finding
no,
the
but
company.
that's what I'm talking about. Why find the company? Those are the illegals or the migrants we want, right? The ones that are actually here and are working.
No,
The
no, no,
ones
but
I'm talking about is
but my problem. The reason why is you got to stop the illegal process. We don't want. I don't actually want. I get what you're saying, but I don't want illegals coming to work. What I want are people who legally migrate to work. You see what
but
I'm saying?
why?
There's a difference because
So they
I'd
can
like
pay
to make
tax.
sure that there's a vetting process for people coming.
Oh,
Even if it's just
so this
even if
whole
I mean even
anarchist
from a
talk is just
medical.
talk.
Well, no, just because even a medical perspective, right? Tuberculosis is still rampant in South America, like rampant. We don't deal with it much here. But how would you like to be taking your son to go get his, get checked for TB? So you're way up north, so you don't get that testing. Down here, we still do. We have to still do tuberculosis testing because of our proximity to the border. So, but at least we can catch these diseases if we have screening and certain things. It's just little things like that for quality of life. But just to,
Yeah,
just to
so
say
so
we
so
know
then
who it is.
so the
I'm
process
fine.
isn't
I'm not saying turn people all down, but I'm saying let them line up
no,
and come
but that's what I'm
across.
saying though. The process shouldn't be find the companies in. The process should be like, look, if you have undocumented workers, just make sure you're screening them. They're, I'm saying if maybe make the process easier, right? To come here and work. If you just want to come across the border and work, that's fine. You're going to come across the border and work. Maybe you get cheaper labor, and the companies can just screen them. They can document them. They're tracking them. The U.S. knows where they are. But those are the migrants we want. If you're coming here, you're actually working out in a field or in a factory. Come on over. The ones we don't want are the ones that are fucking going around committing crimes and using free services, which again is not all of them, but there is. The liberals like to say there isn't people doing that. Oh, that people don't do that. They're not coming across and just using free service. No, they are. We have them. We know those people. Like we're from the South. We're from the border. We have those people in our family circles,
in
in
our
our friend
family.
circles. So we know these people. It is happening. Those are the people we don't want. But if they're coming here and they're in the factory or they're out in the fields, I don't give a shit. That's cheaper labor for our companies in the US. They're actually getting money so they can send back to their home families in Mexico, which should help by bringing money into Mexico. That helps with immigration as well. If Mexico starts building some wealth, like those I don't care about. I don't if a company has 1,000 illegals working for them, I don't care because they're here working.
It's not the illegal part that bothers me. The reason why I would say you find the company is that we need to stop all the opportunity for people to make this system broken, right? You can't stem it on one side and then not the other. It's kind of like you can't put in a security system in your house but also do away with laws that criminalize breaking and entering, right? You got to have something to incentivize the companies to do the right thing. Like I
Well,
actually
no,
agree with
no. See,
you.
in
Hold
your
on, let me finish.
analogy, though,
I
if somebody breaks into my house at night and every night they break into my house to actually work on my house, then I'm okay. If I wake up in the morning and my laundry's done and the fucking bathrooms are cleaned,
So, but
But what if they're also fucking your wife?
my only problem with that is where I can kind of agree with Kevin also, aside from the health aspect of it, is for legality issues too, right? So like not just because somebody works means they are not going to commit a crime in the future. Plenty of people that most people that commit crimes have jobs
Had a job at some
or
point.
had
Yeah.
a job at some point. So just the fact that you work doesn't absolve you from any future criminal
But
activity.
what's
So
the difference
I'm just
between?
saying, if we don't know you're here and we
No,
don't
but that's
know,
what I said though. You document if you have people that are coming
Yeah,
here to
one.
yeah, but
actually
you wouldn't
work.
want to put that on the company though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
would.
the company. Yeah, the company hires them. Hey, you want to hire cheaper labor? That's cool. Just make sure that you're screening them for health, that you're documenting, that you're reporting
How
these
do you
workers.
provide identification and all that? That's a government function.
It shouldn't be a government function. It should be the
What
companies
what
can do.
providing an ID, a
No,
legal
no, no,
state
because
ID shouldn't be a
no,
government function.
we're not talking about providing them IDs. We're talking about them.
But you do want to provide ID. That's my whole
No,
point.
they need
Is
to they need to be able to verify and vet who they are.
if somebody goes out and commits a crime and only your company knows you're here, how the fuck are they ever going to find you?
The company,
How would the company know you were the one? They're not in law
because
enforcement.
the company can be responsible, just like when we work for a company, right?
How is your company going to know that you went out and committed a crime in the middle of the night?
But
Well,
what? But the ID thing though is not everybody in the U.S. has an ID either.
yeah,
Which
and
I
the
have
company.
which I actually have a problem with also.
Well, if you
Uh,
remember Beto, in our older days when we worked together, when we got our job at that company, what did we
When
get?
you guys came across the border and were working at that plant,
back when we were
What-
picking strawberries.
we had badges, right? We had badges with our picture ID provided by the company. We didn't have to go downtown to
I
the
get
state
that.
or
I
the city.
understand that. I'm talking
The
about
company can be responsible for that, and that's where I come in with
again,
the
again.
companies
Ev-
have to be held
super
liable.
simple. Check it out. Super simple. All you have is a badge. The state has no fucking clue you're here.
no, but the state does have a clue here. That's what I'm saying. Like a company can do the badge. If they're housing them, they can even say where they're housed, give them a badge number, take their picture, and they document this and they send this up to the government saying, here's the people that we have working from Mexico, from Argentina, from wherever the fuck they came from, right? Just if you want that cheap labor, then you have to do these extra processes. If you don't, that's where the
Exactly.
government finds you. But that's what I'm saying. I don't agree with just finding them because they have
Yeah,
them. I say if undocumented workers want to come here and work, let them. Like for
yeah.
you, for example, Beto, you have a company, right, where you build houses. If you could hire cheaper labor for undocumented workers and all you had to do is make sure that you provided them some sort of badge, why not?
I like
It's
expensive labor.
and see and see like Juan said. See, Juan, that's what I was trying to say though. Is not I wasn't saying that just fine the companies. I'm saying the fine is meant to force the companies to do the right thing, right? To make it uncomfortable for them to skirt the system. So look, we've already come up with a partial solution. Because I'm fine if a company wants to go and even every day, if they want to drive across the border and load up vans of people to bring out to because they, based on their, like we're not going to get all these tangerines picked by the end of the
No, see,
month.
now you're going a little too far.
No, no, no. If they want to go and if they want to pick, if that's how they want to get their workforce and they want to drive across the border into Nuevo Laredo and like pick up 20 or 30 new employees or whatever, and then bring them back, maybe even put them on a bus back every day. As long as they bring them in, they do the health screening, right? They document them, they document their wages because they're also we want that tax money. The government wins. Let them pay their fair share for everything, right? They can offer benefits or give them their badge. I'm cool with that. And all of this we're talking about is my point. We're talking about it. We actually have viable solutions here. And you know what? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But you know what we did do? We came up with an idea. Now we should push one of them or all three of our ideas that we had collectively.
I
Build
have
some sort of
concepts of
wall.
an idea.
No, but I mean, like, build.
That's what I should have said when you
wall.
said, "How do we resolve the immigration?" Well, having concepts of a plan.
I'm not president yet.
But I mean, build a wall, right? Like we can even come to some sort of agreement on that. Like I'm still for build a wall because I still believe you put a fence around your house or a gate, you put a door on your house, with a lock. These are minimum measures for protection, right? Yeah, and I don't care about the logistics or whatever. We waste money on so much other bullshit in this country.
But what about
I'm
perception?
What about what?
What about perception?
I don't give a shit about percent. That argument never landed on me. Again,
This is the land of
because
opportunity.
every person that starts this nonsense of, but the perception of a wall, take the door off your fucking house if that's your attitude.
But
I
my
wanna
house,
I was
my
gonna
house
say,
doesn't-
here's my solution to illegal immigration. Is you take
we take
every
Israel
registered Democrat and
and they
you,
wipe 'em
by
out.
law, force them to house illegal immigrants in their house.
No, because here's my counter to that. From the other side, if you're worried about immigrants or whatever, then fine. You take every registered Republican and you make them go pick fucking tangerines for 2 hours in the field for $3. Make them work 1 day a week,
Hey,
10
you know
hours
what?
picking
Farmers,
oranges.
I don't give a fuck. You know why? Because farmers get plenty of fucking subsidies as it is, man.
That's another situation. Hell,
Well-
they're getting paid not to even have crops.
So they get subsidies and they also get the cheap labor. Fuck those guys. I don't even eat fruits and vegetables. Give me my fucking steak. I don't.
Yeah,
eat
but
fucking fruits.
then the other side of the argument is, all right, Democrats have to house immigrants. Then Republicans, you guys can no longer engage in gay sex.
Or no, or they have to.
Whoa,
have to.
hey!
No, they don't have to
I
because
need my dick.
it just
Oh,
happened.
you're right,
it-
because they're doing it behind the scenes.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
happened again. A story came out again today of
Yeah.
a Trump activist who was caught doing gay porn. It's like,
See, and this is what this goes back to bring it all back around to our initial topic, right? It's the same stories. They're like, we want gay rights. You have all the gay. What gay rights do you not have, gay people? The LGBT keeps acting like they're fighting this valiant. They're like the fucking Palestinians at this point. We're fighting for a valiant future for ourselves. They're oppressive, but the Israelis weren't really doing shit to you guys a
It's
few months
systemic,
ago,
Kevin.
right?
It's
And
the
then you
system is
attacked them,
still-
and now
it's
they're
still-
attacking back.
The
right?
argument is, it's like the argument black people make, right? It's the systemic.
Yes. Well, you know what? Again, here's the situation there. Just give them fucking reparations and go about our day. Stop arguing. Either accept the reparations or don't get the reparations. Democrats have been in power for how long now? And none of those motherfuckers have given anybody reparations, right?
Well, no,
And
they don't want to give their
they're
money.
they're the first ones out here calling. My phone blows up all day, every day from these people calling me because
is it an Israeli phone?
that one needs to be mark that down, Javi. That's the lead. That's the lead. But but the people that like calling because somewhere on some documentation, my skin color is listed as like not vanilla, right? So I get these things like, "Hey Kevin, it's that time of year again, buddy. We need your help to make sure President Harris makes it." President Harris, she hasn't even been voted yet. You don't even know anything about me. I guarantee you I didn't give him my number, but it's just nonstop. This election, the voting, the calls, but they expect me to be like, hey, like, vote for, like, we don't want to, or having this bullshit where we're going to lose our black rights somehow. What black rights am I going to lose in the next election? If Trump wins, they act like we're going back into slavery or something. It's like, calm down. He was the president for 4 years and no Jim Crow laws were brought back. None of us died.
That bothers me too. That is this constant barrage of, if Trump gets elected,
The
all
world
hell's
is
gonna
gonna
break loose.
end.
He was already in there for 4 fucking years, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, the same goes for the other side. Oh, Kamala wins. Oh, America's over. Just go ahead, and it's just going to be, V for Vendetta, a post-apocalyptic. We're all going to be living in work camps and getting re-educated. And I'm like, She was vice president for 4 years. Now, granted, it's not quite the same thing, but she was president for 4 years because Biden was a vegetable for 3 of them, right? So it's just nothing ever fixes, nothing changes. It's we had another school shooting. It's like another assassination attempt on Trump. It just never ends. This media cycle, and it's burning. I feel like it's becoming indifferent to it. Like the noise, it's just noise. It's white noise. You know how you put on the TV in the background when you work, if you work from home, or like
is this maybe the plan to get everybody to the point where they don't give a fuck anymore, where everybody's jaded, and then they can just keep on doing more and more and more of what they want?
Like I saw a thing now where I think it's like key jangling, right? Like this whole thing where they were talking about, and I've seen several stories of like kind of amassing like their navy or something, and people are like, it looks like China's about to. Are they planning to invade? Taiwan. Oh, it looks like it may happen this week. Oh, it looks like it's about to go down. They're going to invade Taiwan. It's like, well, then go ahead and invade it. Do something. Like let it end. Let this stuff let's just have the election.
Stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. Like whenever somebody has like Ms. Anthony Blinken, Secretary Blinken, how do you guys feel about China and Taiwan? And he can just be like, hey, look, we'll talk about it when we get there. Just fucking end it.
Yeah. So I guess to all our listeners, this is our last show. We just need to stop talking about this. We're so fucking tired. We're just tired of talking about all the politics and fuck this.
We're done.
I'm not tired of talking about it. I want money.
It's funny. It's funny that Trump getting shot at is so common now that it's like I'm so sick and tired of Trump getting shot.